where does somebody like Harry stand on this? Should players and pundits view individual accolades and records just as highly as they view trophies?
You're asking the wrong person. Because, of course, I would think that individual accolades, such as being a all-time greatest goal scorer for a club, in a league, for your country, that's something I think certainly every player, certainly every forward would want. And it's, I think, certainly as a forward, you want to be seen as the greatest goal scorer ever. Any of those three that I've talked about,
for sure.
and to lay something down that needs to be beaten or that will be remembered for forever. You know, that's something I always wanted to do as a player, and as a striker, there's no doubt you have a more selfish outlook than most other players. It's within most strikers' nature to be like that.
Yeah.
So if Harry Kane was to finish his career as his country's greatest scorer, Tottenham's and the Premier League's, I don't think he's going to be worried about having not won any trophies.
Do you go with that, Simon?
Oh, I think he'll be disappointed not to win any trophies, but I think also in isolation you have to suggest that those sort of achievements are monumental. Being compared in the same breath as, I think, arguably one of the greatest goal scorers that ever drew a breath in Jimmy Greaves is an honour in its own right. Being so successful at an individual club where Harry has been, to come out of it with those sort of those accolades will be phenomenal. There will of course be the other side of it, which is that, well, I'd like to have won things, and you know, those things are stats that are produced at times when someone else is eclipsing them most of the time. So people talk about Harry Kane's record of something at Tottenham because someone else is coming along, maybe taking it over. You know, we got to hear about, I think was it Bobby Tambling at Chelsea, because Frank Lampard was going to take over his goal scoring record.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think there is, from an individual, but Dean will back it up, because he'll say players are highly motivated about their own opportunities, very selfish in their development, which they have to be, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what they have to be. And so that will chime with them. But if you're Harry Kane and say to him, would you have liked to have scored less goals? I'll ask you the question. If someone offered you the opportunity to have scored less goals in exchange for more trophies...
Or a trophy.
So you no longer were the top scorer at Tottenham. Just superimpose yourself into Harry Kane's position. You're no longer the Premier League's top scorer. But you've got a litany of trophies. Yeah. Which would you take more satisfaction from?
I would take the goal scoring.
Oh, what? Because you want to back up your own argument?
No, I would.
You just started the whole competition about fans having to have trophies, and now you're saying players don't want them.
Because I'm talking about fans. When I'm talking about me, to me, goal scoring was what football's all about. And to be seen as the greatest at one of those levels, to me, of course a trophy's great, and so you can enjoy that with your teammates.
When you go to your what's in here? Oh, it's empty. Dust. Oh, someone sent me a memo saying I scored the most goals.
To be fair, Dean, he's done the next best thing. I mean, to put yourself in with a chance of winning trophies, you've got to be a prolific goal scorer.
I know
Harry
Alan Shearer won the Premier League with Blackburn, but when you hear him talk about his time at Newcastle and becoming their top scorer, and he would never take that back, even though he could have gone to Manchester United and won lots and lots of trophies, I do think strikers do think differently. And Harry might not see it right now, but to beat Jimmy Greaves' record and to do something at a football club like that is absolutely huge.
I think it's remarkable as well.
And what it would do for the rest of his life, and how he'll be treated, and you know, you're a legend of that football club because of what you. Okay, it might get beaten in the future, but that is such a massive achievement for any.
There is a
striker.
spooky aspect to it as well, because strangely Greaves scored his 265th on the same day in 1970.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that goal came in an FA Cup win as well, on that occasion against Bradford City. But certainly...
he's got the opportunity to beat that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.